Good morning, everyone. Today we will be seeing the third unit, that is strategic planning, which we had already done earlier in the classes. Before starting the session, hope all of you are good and staying safe at home. So today in this session, we will be dealing with three different points. What is the definition of strategic planning, steps in planning, and the benefits of strategic planning? Already this was taken in the class, but it is just a brush up for you. So basically, strategic planning is a systematic procedure to establish long term objectives of an organization and the policies and strategies that oversee the achievement, use, and disposition of resources to accomplish the vision and mission of firm. It is a problem solving process of establishing strategic objective and devising the strategic plan to realize those objectives. So basically it is making of the objectives and making sure that it is using the resources of the company and accomplishing the vision and mission of the firm. So this is the definition of strategic planning. It mainly assists the organization to set up goals. It helps us in setting up of goals, environmental analysis, and for generation of strategic option. It helps to come up with the different types of options which can be implemented. And last one, designing of control and maintaining systems. Okay, so strategic planning is basically a formation or establishing of the objectives using the resources for the accomplishment of vision and mission. This will help to state why the company is standing, what are the different environment and analysis of the environment, come up with different strategic options for solving these challenges which are there in the environment, and to design control and maintenance system to ensure that the strategic plan which you have formulated is going well. Now, what is the difference between an operational planning and strategic planning? In case of operational planning, it is a day-to-day basis, or it is for a short-term period. Strategic planning, it will be for a longer period, and it is more future oriented. If you see the difference between these two, see, operational planning focuses on operational problems, while the strategic planning is for survival and development. Operational planning is looking for the present profit, the other one is for future profit. And if you see the constraint, when you are planning for the future, you have to think about what are the resources which will be available in future. So all the planning will be done in a future oriented method. In operational, the type of leadership will be conservative, but in strategic planning you should have a radical like you should be inspired by the radical changes. That is, you have to think what may happen in the future and anticipate for that, and equip yourself for the thing. So these are the basic difference between operational planning and strategic planning. Problem solving, if you come day to day problems, it will be low risk thing and it can be solved much easily. But strategic planning, you have to have a new approach. Like you can't tell that this can be a method which can be used in future. You can just predict that. So it is high risk and you have to anticipate things which may go wrong. So this is the difference between operational planning and strategic planning. Now coming to the next one, it is steps in strategic planning. There are 8 steps which are there in strategic planning. Let's go and see what are those steps. First one, you have to set goals. Second one, planning premises. Third one, planning period. Fourth one, course of action. Fifth one, evaluate and select the best course of action. Develop derivative plans in order to accomplish the ones which you have already selected in the course of action. Establish and deploy the action plans, and measuring and controlling. So first one is goals. Second one is you should know which are the premises, that is the external as well as the internal environment of the company, for what period you are planning. Do we have different courses of action which can be implemented in order to achieve those strategies? Evaluate and selection of course of action. Find out the derivative plans which can lead to this course of action. Establish the action plan and control and measure. So these are the 8 steps. Establishing verifiable goals is nothing but it is mainly formulated by the top management, and the values and beliefs will be reflected in these goals which you are setting. Okay, the vision and mission of the company is set in such a manner that you are keeping in mind for what your company is standing for, what are their values and beliefs. So that is the first step in strategic planning, establishing verifiable goals or attainable goals. Second one, planning premises. There are three types of premises for any of the establishment. First one is internal and external premises, tangible and intangible. So basically, internal, external, tangible, intangible, and controllable and non-controllable or uncontrollable. Let us see. First one, internal premises. Internal premises are nothing but the sale forecast, policy and programs of the organization, capital investment, managerial competency, human resource skills, all those which are associated with the organization within your organization, that is internal premises. External premises are the general business and economic environment. For example, the changes which is happening in technology, government policies and regulation, population growth, all like coming of a pandemic, all those things will be an external premises. Okay. Next one is tangible and intangible. Tangible premises are quantifiable. Example, population growth, product demand, past sales. Intangible premises are that cannot be measured quantitatively. Example, political factor, social factor, nothing but pest. Then there is uncontrollable premises and controllable premises. Example of uncontrollable premises are strikes, lockouts, wars, natural calamities, emergency situation, etc. Controllable premises, the company's labor policy, investment policy, advertisement policy, level of technology, all those things are controllable premises. Next one, deciding the third step, that is deciding the planning period. Okay, usually the strategic planning will be done for a long term goals, and the manager have to decide the length of the business plan period. So there are factors which will influence the planning period, like lead time in the development of a new idea, time required to get the original investment, the length of commitments already done, all these things will decide the planning period. Fourth one, finding alternative course of action. Like we have to check what are the available technologies right now, What are the alternative technologies which you can think about, alternate source of capital, and the skill labors or employees which you can take into consideration. The sixth step is developing derivative plans. After selecting the best business plan, it should formulate the policies and plans or make sub plans in order to make sure that you are achieving your goals. And the seventh point is implementation of business plan. For implementation of business plan, this is what it is in implementation. First, we will be putting up onto the environmental analysis as told earlier. And in this, we will be checking all the strategic issues and major expectation of the shareholders and top management. On the basis of that, we will be coming up with the course of action, mission, policies, goals, program, strategy. And then it will be converted into derivative plans, that is tactical plans, that is for a short term, and based on each tactical plan you will be coming up with budget. After that you will be having the implementation. Once implementation is done, once it is communicated properly, we will have the operational results which we will be evaluating and controlling in order to make sure that whatever is being planned is being followed. So these are the steps in strategic planning. Hope you understood. Now, why we need strategic planning? What are the benefits of strategic planning? Okay. So first one is it defines the vision, mission, goals, objectives of the company based on for what are the values and beliefs which the company have. Second one is identify the suitable strategies to achieve goals. In order to achieve goals, what are the different strategies? What are the different levels of strategies which we have to implement in order to achieve the goals? Third one, improve awareness of external, that is nothing but environmental analysis. Then you should, it will, this strategic planning will increase the manager's commitment to achieving the organization's objective. It helps in coordination and allocation of organization's resources. Better communication between the managers of different levels and functional areas are possible. Functional areas is nothing but marketing, finance, and so forth. So, and the various departments. Reduces resistance to change by informing the employees of the change and consequences. Once the change which we are expecting from the employees is communicated properly, it is easier for them to adapt and follow the change. It helps in the firm's performance. Then, on average, organizations using strategic management are more successful than organizations that don't. And the last point, strategic planning allows organization to become more proactive than reactive. That is, thinking about the future, anticipating about the things which may come, and planning accordingly is what a strategic planning which is all about. So it is a proactive function rather than a reactive function. So today, in today's session, we mainly dealt with the definition of strategic planning, the difference between operational planning and strategic planning, the different steps involved in strategic planning, and the last one, benefits of strategic planning. In case of any doubts or clarification which you need, please comment in the Google Classroom or you can message or call. Thank you very much. Hope it was a good session. Thank you.